Hey guys, my name is Abigail, and I live in Germany in the beautiful city of Karlsruhe. And this is my first video, and I was so excited today to about the testimony about that blessing God gave to me that I just decided to just share it with everyone who wants to hear about it. So I decided to speak in English, so that more people can listen to it. But if you speak German and you need some translation, or you're really interested but you don't get everything I say because of my British accent, just contact with me and you'll get the information. But what I wanted to tell you about is, I do work in a bank, and God gave me that job in a miraculous way 6 years ago. What I do is I'm a financial consultant for the past now 4 years that I'm full in my job. But what I do besides it, like my banking job, is there to provide me the money I need to do God's kingdom business. So I'm a youth leader, and I love telling people about Christ. I just love helping people to be successful in life, to get a foot into the world, to go out to share the word. So what I nearly daily do is speak with my customers about God, or my colleagues, or I pray about that, or that's my heart. So I develop young people to become leaders. That's what I do in my free time, like out of fun maybe. That's just my calling. So I wanted to do that at my working place. And the thing is that we have a structure in our bank, like we are a huge bank in Germany, that you normally have to go through different stages. So if I would go through that stages, seriously, I would turn like 30 before I actually become a branch manager. And I'm 24, by the way. So I spoke to my boss like 1 year ago, and I said, listen, I want to become a branch manager and I know I can do it, but I will not be able to go that normal way. And he's like, yeah, that's what I thought as well. So today I actually had my meeting with my area manager and his boss as well, to speak out of my plans. Anyway, today is my day, my first working day after my holidays. So I came into the bank, I just went to my post box, just got all the paperwork. Like some people who are working, they know how it is to get off holidays. You get out and you're like, for real? Anyway, that's what happened with me. And I got a letter, like it was written private letter, but it was from my work. So I was like kind of confused. I'm like, who's writing me a personal letter in my bank? So I got that letter and there's a name on it. And I looked at the name, I'm like, for real? And what happened is that from the executive board of my bank, like no one in my position would ever get to know to the executive board of our bank. He wrote me a personal letter. So he wrote to me that he is so excited to see the work I do in our bank, and how successful I am in helping also other people to be successful, and that I actually reach my goals and help the bank to grow. That he wants to personally thank me and invited me for a dinner. Obviously not by myself, like there are some other people. But anyway, he invited me and I was flashed. I'm like, in my position where I work just as a normal financial consultant, no one would ever get an invitation. No one. Like, that is like for branch managers, area managers, like headquarter managers, whatever. So no one in my position should actually get something like that. I was wondering, I'm like, how did that person actually get my name? Out of, I think we are like 8,000 people in our company. How did he actually get my name? So I went to that meeting with my bosses to speak about my future. And then he was asking like, did you like get an email? I didn't get it. Like, seriously. Sometimes you're kind of slow. You're just coming back from holidays. You're like, I didn't check my emails and stuff to go through it. And they're like, oh, maybe she did not get it yet. I'm like, whoa, do you actually speak about that letter? I'm like, thank you so much. And I'm like, did you guys have anything to do? And they're like, yeah. And actually, that is such a great testimony, because you know what? If you give your full heart into God's kingdom And if you put God first in everything you do, and if you're not ashamed of God, if you're not ashamed of what God is doing in your life, if you love sharing the love of God and you give always your best, and that's the thing, you have to give your best because you're God's child. God has given his best. Why shouldn't you? So as you give yourself as a living sacrifice, holy, presenting unto God as a pleasant sacrifice, that is actually church service. That is pleasing unto God. That is how you serve God. And you do that in every circumstance. You don't only do that at church. You don't only do it when you're with your Christian friends. You actually do that wherever you go. And that's who you are. That's what you love talking about. That's what your heart is full of. Because the Bible said that everything you see, everything you listen to, that's what your heart will be filled with. And what your heart is full of, the mouth will speak about it. So but by your words, people already know who you are. So you can imagine that my colleagues, my bosses, they know I love God, even though they're not Christians. Funnily, like we have a Holy Spirit night happening with like 2,500 people on the 6th of June here in Karlsruhe, open air, and the whole family of my boss is coming, even though they're not really Christians. So it's just amazing to see what God can do, but this one was just like, whoa, this was just my topping. Like, I'm like, for real, you have to go through so many things. And I was speaking with friends about it today, that if you look at the story of Moses, he was in the palace and he had everything he wanted, but he was not in God's will in that way, the way he lived his life. And then something had to happen, had to shaken up his life, that he had to go to the rough road. He had to go to the desert. He had to make that desert experience in soul, body, and in spirit. He really had to go through it. And he did not go there for 1 month or 2 months. He went there for years, so that he actually totally turned out to become a different person. And that's what God sometimes does with our life. You know what sand does? If you put sand on something and you scrub it, it's like it becomes very clean and fine. But to do that actually is not really, it doesn't really feel good. And what I'm trying to say is that I just want to encourage you, please, 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 do yourself a favor. Love God. Love God. Seek God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your strength. And by doing that, I tell you, God will reward you openly. And I'm definitely going to that dinner. I'm going to enjoy that food, and I will enjoy just to have that fellowship. And I'm already praying now that I will definitely have the wisdom and just the courage to be who God has meant me to be. And I want to be a blessing to my bank. I will definitely be a blessing to all the people who get to know to me. But most of all, I give God the honor for my life, using me as a living example that if you really love God, if you look forward, and I'm not saying I'm not doing any mistakes. Hey, I'm telling you, I do mistakes. I'm just a human being. I'm just like a 24-year-old lady who's trying to become the wife for a man who will one day be my husband, hopefully. I will see. Going to get to know him hopefully soon. I don't know. But anyway, is that I'm just a woman. I'm just a single person. But a single person can change the life of so many people. And God has made us to become queens and kings, to rule. If you look into Genesis, he said, I set you upon those animals, about the plants, about everything that is in and under and up. And you should rule. So we are called to be first class. Don't call yourself second class. You are first class, and God will reward you. So seek God. Find someone who can help you, to support you in your faith. If you don't know God yet, get to know to Him. Get to know to Him. Go on your knees just after this video and just say like, God, I don't know that girl. And she's talking about something about you helping in life and showing yourself and whatever. I actually want to get to know to that. And believe me, God will show himself. God bless you. I love you guys. Maybe there are more videos coming. So just let me know what you think. God bless you.